Um, So hello everyone, thanks for joining this webinar. So today we are going to talk about why EdTechs should partner with AWS and become partner of APN network. So my name is Daniel. I'm working as an education partner lead in AWS for Europe, Middle East and Africa. And today I'm joined with two of our partners, Liad from Celtura and Torsten from Simovative. And we are going to lead you or show you what are the reasons why you should join and work together with us. So before we continue, I would just like our partners to introduce themselves and their companies. So Liad, can you start, please?
Sure, thank you, Daniel. So I'm Liad, I'm from Celtura, and we've been doing video and video solutions for the past 15 years, since 2006. We work with many enterprise companies. More than 30% of the Fortune 500 are working with Celtura for their video solutions. And specifically in education, we work with hundreds of universities and K-12 institutionals across the globe. In the US, we have a very large presence with the Ivy League schools, with companies like Harvard and Stanford and NYU working with Celtura. Also in Europe, the headquarters in London, and we do have many universities that are using us in our collaboration and partnership with leading LMS partners to enable video for the students and teachers. Just to name a few examples, University of London, University of Padova, Northern for the entire Nordics region, and others, all of them are using Celtura solutions. Our set of solutions include a broad set of video components such as virtual classroom for students and learners, LMS extensions to extend the LMS experience for video, and also lecture capture and live and virtual classroom solutions and virtual event solutions, of course, for the education institutes. Everything that we do is enabled by a broad set of APIs. So a lot of EdTech companies are utilizing our technologies with our APIs. And of course, by that also the AWS cloud, which is our infrastructure for everything that we do today.
Cool. Thanks for this intro. Torsten, it's your turn.
Hi, Daniel. Yeah, also thanks for having me here in this webinar. So my name is Torsten Fürbringer. I'm CEO and founder of Simovative. Simovative offers with Academy 5 a software solution for universities. It's a so-called campus management system. So it deals, let's say, with all the processes from prospective students to applicants, and also for the full student management for sure, as well as then also for the alumni. So we are based in Munich, Germany, and have also two other offices in Cologne and even one in Canada. Let's say the main parts of our software are addressing the application and admission process, the student management and the cohort management. And we are focusing for sure a lot on the topics like course management and scheduling, which involves a lot of resource planning. So there's coming the ERP part very much inside, and for sure also a big part are managing grades, giving reports, and doing a lot of analytics, as all, especially the states want a lot of data from the university. So basically we help universities and institutions of higher education to, let's say, automate or optimize their processes of the administration. And we want to give students a very cool, let's say, easy to use framework to manage their own studies. That's why Academy 5 offers, for instance, a very big student portal where students have a lot of self-services, like they can access their grades, they can view their own timetable, they can print their transcript of records, so they can manage very easily their whole studies. So we're doing this currently with 56 employees, and we are serving more than 65 big universities. We are already the market leader in the DACH region for private universities, and we're now challenging for sure also then the public universities, where we could also already win some very prestigious projects. And we are very happy that today we have also already customers like the IU, formerly known as the IUBH, which is currently Europe's largest growing university with more than 70,000 students. And yeah, for, let's say, running such a big university and also to manage this growth, you need a very flexible product, what we are offering exactly in this market.
Cool. Thanks for this intro. And both of you are kind of leveraging the AWS, and primarily the thing what we see is the elasticity, so that you can actually meet all the demands and the peaks in the demand with the AWS platform. But let me also introduce what is the partnership journey and what actually the partners or potential partners that are listening now to us could actually expect. So we do have like a threefold, three major pillars in the partnership journey. So one is build, where we actually work together to help build the application. So we can talk about building the native applications on the cloud, so on AWS platform, but we are also looking into modernizing existing applications that you might have and that you might use to migrate them to the cloud and refactor them so that they can actually become horizontally scalable. But we are also looking into helping all the companies and all the EdTechs in the market to actually move to SaaS, which enables actually to sell to customers much more effectively, and also to keep the eye on the cost and actually afford a scalable infrastructure without blowing up the costs where there is not needed. So basically you having to pay only for what you use. But then this is like a super important pillar. But then what happens when you have that application and when you are already where you are already hitting the market? So what you need is a help to bring more customers to your application and more universities and more schools to use the product. And we are also helping you to go to the market through our partnerships, and we are looking for both like B2C or B2B elements, depending on how you want to sell your product and how you're marketing your product and to which types of customers you are marketing your product. Of course, the tools and the methods differ, but we do both. And then when we do know how to go to market, then we help you to sell. And we do this by co-selling. And I just want to say it's just to build the right expectations in the beginning. So the co-selling for us doesn't mean that we sell your product or we are expecting you to sell AWS. We are just engaging jointly with the customers to progress those customers and to progress the whole sales cycle and finally landing the sales. We also surveyed a few of our partners in Europe. So you can see the sample is 306. So this is like really the survey that we did with our partners. And this is the reason what they are saying why they are joining APN and AWS. So that the 32% of them, they are saying that they need the help to co-sell, 24% saying that they need go-to-market help, like helping building the strategy. And most in this go-to-market, the biggest element is international expansion. So once when you have your application ready, and once when you are scalable, and once when you are a SaaS platform, so then there is no barrier for you actually, but just to get more and additional customers, and then they can come from any parts of the world. And this is like one of the key reasons what our partners are saying, that they want us also to work with AWS to get tap into that resources. And then enabling is 15%. So that enabling element goes and goes in alignment with what we call the build phase. So helping those companies to use more cloud and to be more scalable and more effective. So you can see that vast majority of the interest is actually covered by the APN program. And this is what we also do in AWS with all of our product development and all of our services development. We are listening to our partners and to our customers, and then we develop features and programs which our customers are telling us that they are interested to use and do. So now just quickly, I would like to explain also how we see that is a kind of a flywheel between build, market, and sell, and what we do here together. Actually, just to give you a kind of a preview, is like first when we obviously build a solution, and once when the solution is built, we can always improve it and further modernize it. But once when we start into jointly working on that marketing and lead generation, this obviously results in some opportunities. Then we are starting to engage with the field sales in regions or in countries where you are interested to do business. We are hopefully successful in landing few customers, and then we are together building a customer references, and then this goes into that kind of a circle where we are constantly bringing in more and more leads, and building a bigger pipeline and building bigger sales and driving revenues. And here are also so few programs which are named here, which actually helps, and if you participate, it helps to go towards the direction. So for example, AWS SaaS Factory aligns with Build, but for example, AWS Customer Engagements Program is aligning with the whole sales cycle, where it's enabling us to share the opportunities among each other. So if you are interested how this looks like in a bigger picture, so we have a number of different programs which aligns to different stages. So for example, for Build, your expertise and then building your solutions on the cloud. We are actually offering a number of different approaches to help you get started. So depending on where you are, maybe you are having a legacy, bring your own license product, which is typically hosted on-prem on your customers, and you want to move that to the cloud. You need some help to first of all migrate your application, but then also to work with your customers to start migrating onto your new platform. So, but this actually brings me back to Thorsten and the question. So, how did you started with AWS?
Yeah, first of all, for sure, it's necessary that you have a need to go to a new partner. So we are facing, let's say, various, especially difficulties when we saw how our customers are growing. More and more students were joining our universities. So there was permanently the need for more performance, for more storage capacity, and also for availability. So that's why we even came up for selecting a new partner. And for sure, there was no other way than going into the cloud. That was for sure. So, but as we are very database-driven system, especially the database was a very crucial part of it. And that's why we said, okay, Aurora Serverless, this is one solution which we can really go forward perfectly. So that's why we decided for AWS. And then we were for sure exactly at the part to transform our software, because our software was exactly as you was just describing it, running as an on-premise solution on different servers. And therefore we had, let's say, especially those very early stage architecture meetings that we had with Florian, special thanks here again from this side, that helped us so much to really confirm that our architecture that we were selecting is right. Because when you start, let's say, right, refactoring the software, if this would go in the wrong way, this could be deadly if you dare go too long in the wrong way. So that was very cool to have here really at the very early stage this kind of review already. Then for sure we had to educate all our DevOps teams, and therefore AWS was promoting a lot of different trainings and the different training path and education path, which our DevOps team members really highly evaluated, and they said it was really very, very big benefit for them, even if it was kind of not always so easy to book them due to the pandemic's time, but we also managed that. One thing that was also very important for us, where you helped us a lot with, is then convincing the customers of a cloud solution. Because especially when you're very, let's say, close, you have close to government customers like university that are very aware of data privacy, data protection rules, and in every second meeting you're confronted with the Cloud Act, and So therefore, you also supported us very much always with the certain documents and to really show our customers that the solution is really absolutely full 100% fitting those data security issues. Yeah, and then for sure, finally, you have to deliver performance. That's why I was also very happy that we could get those sandbox credits so that we can also just show our customers how this solution is working. And also we had, for instance, tests with our customers where they could really scale the load. So we did really highly load tests for the customers. They could really just see, hey, this solution is just better than the old solution. So really, in summary, we felt very much supported, and I really appreciate this kind of personal contact that we always had, that you're not talking to an anonymous big organization where you're probably facing 100,000 of FAQs that you have to read. So with every question, and AWS has also a lot of this abbreviations, APN, and so many. So sometimes you get lost a little bit with this. And there I was really always so happy that I have this personal contact, and he was always guiding us really with a very good project plan. So I felt in this build phase, I felt already, yeah, very well prepared to then move our product also to the next level with AWS.
Yeah, so you mentioned project plan, and this leads me to a partner transformation program. So which actually the program helps our partners to really transform the overall business. It's not just about the tech, it's also about the culture, and it's also about the way how to go to market. So can you just, so when we went through that program, so did the partner transformation help you to understand better how you should work in the cloud, or do you have any feedback in that with that regards?
No, for sure, because we had to kind of refactor our software, especially let's say for storage or for from session handling point of view. We had to really adopt big changes to the software, and therefore it was crucial to have also this support, how to really, let's say, adopt our software, and then also get with this new functionalities and technology then to the market, and also, let's say, then convince our customers from these new possibilities that we had then with the cloud.
Cool. So, but also you mentioned sandbox credits. So that's also, I just want to explain that this is something that we do for our partners, because we don't want that our partners are actually paying the price of innovation. So what it means that you get certain amount of credit so that you can innovate and you can try new things with your application or with your system or with a new system that you're planning to do. But you can also invite your customers to try your new features. And this runs on AWS credits, which we call sandbox innovation credits. So Liad, how did Celtura started? Can you share some of your experiences of our start in education space?
Absolutely. So we were lucky. We decided to move to cloud a bit before COVID started. We didn't anticipate what was going to happen. Prior to that, we worked across our internal data centers, and we decided to move to cloud. We chose AWS as our primary cloud provider, both from the technology reasons and the due diligence that we did to make sure that the cloud can answer the needs of our customers, as well as from the partnership and business perspectives, and all the different benefits that we see here in this slide. Once we moved to cloud, we actually started to go step by step to all the different levels. We joined the competency program for both education, public sector, and the digital workspace environment. We created lists on the marketplace to allow co-selling with AWS sellers. We started to collaborate in different levels. And then when COVID started, what we saw is a tremendous acceleration of trends that existed in the markets before, specifically in education, in terms of how quickly teachers and learners go online and accelerate the digital transformation process for their schools. Specifically, we saw a big demand from schools, because basically all the students for K-12 stayed at home. Not all the schools had solutions prior to COVID, so immediately they had to find solutions. Celtura was well positioned to answer the need with our virtual classroom and VOD portals and streaming solutions. Together with AWS, we started a campaign for education across, we targeted Europe first, but then we also scaled it up to the US and other regions. And basically what we did was to offer a limited trial for the Celtura solution jointly with AWS. AWS helped us to promote the campaign. They also helped us with the credit funds for some of the POC that we did with our clients and allow us to offer it as a free service. If you remember, when COVID started, nobody could charge, even $1 for anything. Everything was kind of expected to be free and supportive of the situation, which Celtura really wanted to do, and also because of our values and our willing to contribute and to the society and the culture. So we took a big hit then on the consumption and investment in those clients. And AWS were really there with us as partners by providing the additional help with marketing, additional help with funds and the rest of the aspects. So this is how it started. Since then, we had some successful stories. Specifically, one of them was in the Ministry of Education in Israel, where we collaborated together with AWS and the media services team to enable live streamings for over 1.5 million students in Israel at the time, and also to use the virtual classroom solution. That also expanded to other Ministry of Educations, for example, in Austria and Hong Kong, which utilized the Celtura solution. And now we're working across the different regions in much higher scale because everybody already know how to work in such environment and situation.
Yeah, so that was that was really a situation where we all are kind of looking the way how to serve actually the market. And what I kind of realized also is later, now when all of this is over, it was also a little bit of a panic mode, because we didn't know what's going to happen, how it is going to happen, or whom are we helping, and how can we actually help each other. And so one important thing is obviously, like you said, for Celtura to be on the cloud already, but then we also needed to fund for all of that. So from our perspective, we said like, okay, we are now going all into that. So we are with our partners. Partners are getting more and more customers, and people are asking, like, not how I can use it, but can I use it now, tomorrow? So we needed to actually start and be really proactive and really fast in reaction, and to actually enable all of those customers to start using. And that's also one of the elements what we did as part of our partnership, enable that amount of credits and enable actually Celtura to be able actually to intake customers at that point in time free of charge in a kind of a pilot mode. But this leads us to already to kind of, so we did with a kind of a go-to-market in a way where we kind of really reacted quickly and find a way how to serve the customers jointly. But then looking into more sell and grow element, and this is here on the slide in the red. So we have like tons of programs, and one which I would like to highlight is the ISV Accelerate. And the ISV Accelerate helps our partners to sell with AWS, meaning that the ISV Accelerate stimulates the AWS sales teams to drive leads and drive conversations with the partners. So they get actually compensated. So AWS sales teams get compensated and motivated to sell together with our partners. So just can you tell us a little bit how you are now collaborating with AWS sales teams? And I assume that you do that in more than one region. So how you guys are doing it?
Correct. Yeah. So we have a partnership team dedicated to us. We have our PDM and then our account team. Specifically in education, we collaborate with the leaders in each one of the regions. We also have similar engagement with other verticals because Celtura is also operating in the enterprise world and technology. But in education, we're talking with folks such as Tony, who is the head of education in EMEA, Don Carson in ANZ and APAC, and Carolina in Latin America and Canada. Together with them and their teams, we are building go-to-market plans for each one of the regions. Each one of the opportunities that we are working on together is being listed in the internal portal, the ACE portal, and there we collaborate with the relevant sellers on the AWS side, engage with our internal teams, and together we create a value to the customers by allowing both the Celtura solutions for the end users and the application level, the virtual classroom, the media platform, the video solution, and AWS as the infrastructure to allow scale and allow to continue scaling to more than 160 countries that we have today. And actually no additional effort because everything is already hosted and on the cloud. It can scale up easily.
Cool. So that's pretty good and interesting examples here. So I'm happy that we are actually able to partner in such a great way or good way. So jointly to supporting our joint customers. So there are tons of different elements that you can put into the mix. So for example, AWS is also offering a marketplace where customers can buy on a click of a button the software, and for example, Celtura is also part of AWS Marketplace, and education offering can be found also on the marketplace itself. But it also aligns to different elements in your journey and in your company maturity and actually what you want to do and how you want to achieve it. So we do provide actually kind of a tailored support so that it fits more or less your needs as our partner. So Torsten, we are also working together now on few marketing initiatives. So would you be so kind to tell us a little bit about your plans and how you see actually our cooperation going and what you like to do with AWS to help you to go to market?
Yeah, for sure. No, and this really stretches out how, let's say, AWS is also supporting its partners, also not, let's say, in a fixed set of things, but because as you can imagine, universities are not buying a campus management system just in the market with one click. I buy now, add to basket, and then and then just go home and then roll it out to the whole university. So classic marketing is not so efficient with especially for us in the education field, because it's a lot of trust and recommendation. So basically for us, the most important marketing thing is delivering good projects. That's also why we wanted to go to AWS to have this, let's say, background also from the cloud performance and everything. But we also wanted to show, let's say, as well as our customers, but also to prospective universities, that we are caring, for instance, about those technologies really, which will have a tremendous impact on the next decades of education. So this can be topics of artificial intelligence, of machine learning, of analytics for student success, for instance, also adaptive learning. There are studies that, for instance, students could learn by 60% faster when they would use at the right time the correct motivation and the correct methods of learning. So we came up with the idea to create a big international event. It will be called the Edu Future Days, and they will handle exactly those topics, because I also really believe so much if the universities would today already have those technologies in the hand and could already serve their students, the success not only for the students but kind of for the whole society would be great. And yeah, I came up with this idea and I was presenting it to Daniel. I said, hey, we would really like to do such an event. I know it's a little bit out of the normal program, but would you like to support it? And I was so overwhelmed by the reaction that I said, no, for sure, let's have a go for it. And now we will host this event in October. And I'm really very much looking forward. We will be able to use the AWS marketing possibilities to promote the event with AWS together. And the resonance that we already have is really, really great. We will have great presentations. And for sure, we can present us and also AWS as those companies who really have focus on those technologies who will have a very, very big impact on the next decades of education. And I'm really very much looking forward, and thanks again for this cooperation.
Yeah, so I just would like to mention, so as partners, you have like a multiple elements that you can use. And as partners, for example, you become a part of APN Partner Selector tool. So anybody who actually comes and anybody who comes on AWS pages, they can actually see all the partners listed together with the products and what products are offered. But this is not a super great news. So number of others are actually also providing that kind of element. But we also can, for the partners, so you can see here, APN Marketing Central, APN Marketing Toolkit. Those are a little bit of buzzwords, which includes number of different stuff. But for example, with Torsten now, we are going to work on a joint conference, and we are going to, as AWS, actually advertise that element or that conference on our web pages. So if you go to AWS and then click on events, you will get all events globally that are being done by AWS or by their partners. So that conference will be also listed there, and we are going to shoot the invite to all of the customers that we are having in our database. So this is the element how we are supporting each other in those kind of events or in those kind of marketing activities. But this also leads me to emphasize that when you see all that menu of different things that you can do with AWS and those programs which are now on the slide, it's not an exclusive or full list. So there are also other programs. This is something what I thought it would be most interesting for education technology companies joining AWS. But what is important to say is that you pick and choose what you need. So you don't need to participate in everything, or you don't need to go through Navigate Path if you don't need to, or if you don't want to. So you use the features which you can or which you want to use. And just a mentioning of a free trial campaign. So you know how it goes when you are selling software. Everybody wants to have a trial. So the free trial campaign actually helps our partners to offset the cost of that trials which customers are doing. So the partner is offering free trial campaigns to their customers, to their new customers. We exchange information in terms of how much of those customers are utilizing that campaign, and then we again offset that cost going forward. So, but this also leads me to ask you, both of you, I mean, you're obviously happy with the partnership and everything, especially since you are working together for so long and since you are here together with us. But is there anything that any of you can share, what we could do better for you? Is there anything that you would also see us doing more or less? So go ahead.
I can start. At Celtura, our approach is very similar to AWS. We're not just selling end solutions. We're also selling components or API-based solutions for technology companies or EdTech companies that want to utilize our technology together with AWS at the backend to approach their customers with video solutions. And I think that one of the things that we saw that was beneficial for us is the value-added resellers with the marketplace. For example, we're now in discussion with Rackspace, one of the value-added resellers, to be able to resell Celtura as part of the Okra project in Europe, and we're working with them and other customers like Infobase, Saba Learning, which was acquired by Cornerstone, and Pearson to enable our technology. I think that one of the areas for improvement might be to see how we can leverage those solutions in a better way with AWS also to other verticals. We saw amazing progress in education and EdTech across Europe, across the US, together with our counterparts and the amazing partnership team in education. We would love to also see similar prospects and process also in other verticals to utilize our API for virtual events, for example, or other use cases that we see a lot of success in.
Cool, thanks for that. Torsten, any thoughts on your side?
Yeah, so this is really hard because I think you're setting the benchmark already quite high, and I think just also to keep this personal contact and the interaction with the partners to just keep it like it is already a big challenge. What was especially for us in the build phase, I think I already mentioned before, for sure also a little bit due to the Corona pandemics, not so easy to train our people, because I know trainings are very often delivered by partners and they sometimes could not then really deliver the trainings, or the trainings were postponed. So I don't know, probably once you will create a kind of AWS university as a kind of fallback. Yeah, I think they already also have 2 partners here who would really be willing to help you in this, if this once would be an idea. But I think this would also be cool to have kind of their, kind of backup if you cannot find the appropriate trainings that AWS is offering them by themselves.
Yeah, cool. Well, thanks for all of those inputs. We will be we are working hard always to improve, and this is also one of the cornerstones of the entire Amazon is the constant reach for feedback and doing the constant improvements, and this is what we do. This brings us to the end. This brings us to the end of the webinar, and I will just to recap. So there is like the focus of our partnership is that we are doing jointly things that we help our customers to progress and accelerate sales cycles and business with all the customers that we have in the market. So if you would like to become a part of this journey and become a part of AWS partner programs, so simply go to aws.amazon.com/partners, register. Everything is free of charge, so it doesn't cost you to register, it doesn't cost you to explore or run the initial meetings. We will also be free to follow up based on the registration on this webinar. You will get that link, and you can also get the contacts from people that you can reach out to. But as soon as you guys register, if you have the interest, you will be contacted by one of our partner development reps. And then you will start your journey, and then you guys will figure out your beginning and your interest, and then you will get a further development and finally assign a partner development manager to work with you on a daily basis. So having said that, first, big thank you guys for being here with us and sharing your experiences. It was a pleasure for me, and hopefully it will be also useful for our audience. So thanks again, and thanks.
Thank
and
you
goodbye.
so much. It was also a great pleasure for me.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.